Universe Mode was supposed to make a big comeback in WWE 2K25 with the return of promos and new match types like Bloodline Rules, Underground, and Intergender Wrestling, but ultimately it fell a little bit flat. So let's get into how Universe Mode can be improved to make it fun again. Rivalry Actions have a pretty mixed review, as some people love them, some people hate them, and overall I think the Rivalry Action system is just depleted and not where it needs to be overall for a fun experience. So I have some new ideas for these. The first one being, which isn't even my idea, it's everyone's idea. We need triple threat and fatal four-way rivalries, not just rivalry actions, but rivalries in general. This is year 4 of Universe Mode of the rivalry action system, and we still don't have it. It's just got to be added. We see it in real life with WrestleMania with Roman, Seth, Punk, Io, Bianca, Rhea. These happened. The Royal Rumble a couple years ago, Roman, LA Knight, Randy Orton, Kevin Owens. These different 3- and 4-person rivalries need to be added into the game to make it more realistic and a lot more fun to really spice up our Universe Mode and make week-to-week interesting with these rivalry actions. Next up is a big one. Not many people talk about it. I would love to see it. It's contract signing rivalry actions. I feel like at this point in time, we get like one contract signing at least once a month, and it always ends in chaos, someone going through a table, major brawl. I think it would just make it feel more real and exciting when these happen to close a show or someone goes through a table during a contract signing, so I think it should be added. Third one is something that also people have been harping on for a while since release, is title belts during promos. For some reason, the champions don't have the title belts. That's a pretty big eyesore to me, and it makes a promo that's hyped up around a champion just not feel as hyped because there's no belt. It just doesn't add any realism. It takes away from it a little bit. And I want to see my champion out there. I want him or her with the belt. It's realistic. It makes the promo more exciting. Also, addition to promos, we need to enhance them and bring in some more different types of promos, like backstage promos and promo attacks. I feel like every week we at least get a couple backstage promos, and it's something we need in the game for realism and just to make every promo feel a little bit different, not the same old, because there's only so many promo options right now. And then also promo attacks are great because we do see them from time to time backstage where we'll get a promo attack, like Karrion Kross attacking Sami Zayn a few weeks ago. It just makes it feel more realistic and really spice it up with some differences in your promos. The next one is also tag team promos. I'm surprised it wasn't in the game. You can kind of make it work by having one half of each tag team be in a promo, but it still feels off. And also, if you're going to add triple threat and fatal 4-way rivalry actions and rivalries, you need to add it for promos as well. So that's something I would love to see. Make your Universe Mode feel more dynamic if they can add this into the game. Also, lastly, for some reason I haven't seen too many people touch on this. Maybe it's just a me thing, but I feel like promos are mostly lifeless. I don't have an issue with there being no text because I have the storylines in my head. That's all right with me, but the issue is there's like barely any crowd reaction. When someone interrupts, you get a little bit of boo, which is cool. At the end of a self-promo, you get a cheer, cool. But overall, like, the what chant is huge in WWE, but we don't see it in game. There's not a lot of really crowd reaction at all when superstars are talking, which in real life I get it because you're listening to them speak, but in game there's no speaking, no words on the screen. So it just makes it feel awkward when there's no crowd reaction and nothing going on. So I'd love to see at least some crowd reaction. It doesn't have to be a dynamic for each superstar, but just some background crowd reaction, make it feel a lot more lively and fun. Next up are some big quality of life changes I would love to see. The first one being more championship slots, because with the new women's mid-card titles, love that they're in the game and everything, but there's no more slots remaining for anything else. So all 7 slots, I believe it is, are filled out, the 6 championships, 1 in Money in the Bank. So if you want to add something like a hardcore title or something, you just cannot add it. So I'd personally love to see at least 1 more slot get added for next year. Next up is the ability to have both Money in the Bank briefcases on one brand. And this isn't even totally tied back to my last comment. There obviously is not a second slot for another Money in the Bank, so you can't even have 2 on one brand to begin with because of that reason. But also, the game limits you to only having 1 briefcase per brand. So if you take away 1 title, you can't replace it with a second Money in the Bank. So it's just not realistic because in real life, we've had back-to-back years of having different Money in the Bank winners on different brands, but Naomi cashed in on Raw, so it's like you can't have that happen if you have the men winner on the same brand. So I think we need that fixed so we can have two briefcases on the same brand. Third quality life change is a number 1 contenders match. It would just be so nice to have. We used to have it for so many years in Universe Mode. It also makes AI matchmaking so much easier if you already have your next contender lined up. It makes a big match happen after your weekly show if you can label it as a number 1 contenders match. I just think it's a great quality of life thing, great realism thing. Love to see it. Fourth one being King and Queen of the Ring was hyped up. I was excited for it. The tournament isn't week to week. It's just on the one PLE where every match is the tournament. I just don't get it. I wish it would be week to week. Make it more realistic. I'd like to see that be improved upon. The next up is qualifying matches. We see it for both Money in the Bank and Elimination Chamber every year. I would love to be able to see it, as sometimes the Money in the Bank and Elimination Chamber, the AI generates a good match with good superstars, but sometimes it's a little weird. I would love to see qualifying matches make it more realistic, and also help the AI out, make it more of a balanced kind of match for those two PLEs. And then lastly, for quality of life, I want promo-specific slots for streetwear and that kind of thing. I personally have to download a bunch of CAWs for streetwear, which I don't hate, but it fills up so many slots I can use to download other community creations, so I'm pretty limited because there's only, 100 slots to begin with. If I have to use 50 to 60 of them just for streetwear attire for promos, it's kind of annoying, so I'd love to be able to at least get, if not more upgrade slots, more in-game design streetwear from day one that I don't have to download. And while I said I could be okay with Rivalry Actions if some things were approved upon, I also have a different direction I'd love for Universe Mode to go. I know it's probably not going to happen, but I want to talk about it anyway, because I think it's a much better system. So let's hop into what I really think Universe Mode should become. So it needs an overhaul, but it's not by putting in some type of new system or a new idea. It's bringing back an old one from 10 years ago. In just 1 year, the story collection system in WWE 2K15 existed, but it was immediately taken out. For those of you that did not play 10 years ago, what the story collection system was, it was stories from start to end that would automatically come onto a rivalry, or you can manually put into a rivalry. It ranged from championships, tag teams ending, feuding, things like that. Full stories that you can just watch or play out yourself. It had some issues though, the biggest one being there wasn't any promos, backstage brawls, anything like that, so it was just match after match and it got pretty stale. Also, there wasn't really any faction rivalries at the time. Especially 10 years ago, factions weren't really big in WWE. Now, thankfully, they are. But those two things can be implemented now. Unfortunately, there's still no faction rivalry actions today, but they can go make some new ones. And now you can add some promos to these story collections and just make everything feel more WWE in 2025. And it takes away the need to micromanage everything and allow users to play out these stories, have the shock and surprises, and really get away from that micromanaging and into these actually playing out stories like we want to see, like we had 10 plus years ago. And with a new story collection system, it might seem like you're alienating the people who currently do like micromanaging Universe Mode, but you don't have to take that away. You can still allow people from week to week to edit this specific action. If they don't like what's happening in week 3 of a rivalry, go make that change to the rivalry actions, and then the following week, it continues with the story as planned. And you can go even further than that. What I think would be amazing is also bringing back the story creator to an extent. Listen, I would love to be able to play everyone's stories and download them online, but I get why it's taken out. But what if you give everyone every rivalry action and you allow them to make a story and a story creator similar to the video creator? And then guess what? You can implement that into your own Universe Mode. Allow 50 to 100 save slots, and that's great. It allows the users to be creative, and even you can go make videos online showing off your own story creations. And what's even better, once again, we can take it even further. What if 2K allows a system where you could submit your story ideas, and in future games, they can implement them into the base game, and in return, you get VC compensation? I think it's a pretty good win-win, to be honest, because you can continue to grow the story collection, and also, maybe you think it's a little lazy because maybe 2K doesn't want to create stories, but if you allow 2K to use user stories, that's more time they can put into other stuff in Universe Mode and make the mode even better. The next step to fixing Universe Mode is once again bringing back something old that they took away for whatever reason. And this is the Superstar Goals system. This was in, I believe, 2K18, so 7 years ago. If you didn't play what this was, it was basically you edit a superstar. It had like a little tag system where you would say what their goal is, whether it was to win a championship, dominate a brand, etc., etc. And I don't know why this got taken away, because honestly, this idea was ahead of its time. Even EA Sports, they're having issues with franchise mode in Madden, and they implemented a tag system, which helped teams better manage their roster, and players better manage whether they want to stay with their team or leaving for agency. And it's really helped the mode improve. And it would be great if 2K brought this back. It would implement a new change to how the AI works, and I think it would better improve the flow of match cards. Would better help manage divisions. Because right now, honestly, a big issue people have, which it has improved in the past couple of years, is weekly show generation, especially at PLEs with match types and who's performing in matches. And honestly, I think it would give you a better flow. And also, it wouldn't just give a better flow to the weekly shows. It could be used to help with rivalries with a story collection. If you remember before, when it just came to the old promo selection like 2K19, 2K20, the promos really did not make a lot of sense with what superstars were giving the promos, what they were saying, because it just didn't fit their character. When it comes to rivalries or promos specifically, you can go tags for these superstars outside of what they were hoping to do with their goals. Rather give them tags about who they are as a individual, their personality, are they face or heel? You know, are they a world title contender, a mid-card title, a mix of both, a jobber, a tag team? Or be given more personality-specific things like, are they a badass, like a Braun Breaker, like a Drew McIntyre? Are they an underdog like Sami Zayn? Are they a comedy act like R-Truth? Or are they an alpha as someone who wants to lead a faction? If you apply these tags, it could help with rivalries because you can make sure stories have specific tags for specific people involved. So if a rivalry doesn't make sense because the tags don't line up, it doesn't happen. That way you're not only getting improved match cards with tags, but you're also getting more realistic stories and not head-scratching rivalries where things are not playing out like they should. Because for me, I started my first universe mode this year, and tell me why Lyra Valkyria is out of nowhere attacking Rhea Ripley during an entrance. She wouldn't hurt a fly unless provoked first. Let's be honest. With a tag system, with a goal system, it just makes everything more realistic. It helps the AI really decide who's going to what match, what their actions are doing, what their rivalries will be. And I think they need to bring this back because it's crucial to a better AI performance for creating a universe mode.